Inside North Korea, the spies...
Some man just strangely peering at us every few seconds.
And the lies.
Why all the fuss about human rights?
The world's most secretive state.
How big is the nuclear arsenal?
15, 20 nuclear missiles.
A global holocaust.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the school kids are ready for war.
So every child at school learns how to shoot a machine gun or throw a grenade?
Yes.
It's a very aggressive mindset for children.
No, this is the DPRK. Respect it.
Those stories tonight on 60 Minutes.
Welcome back. North Korea is the world's last belligerent stronghold for old-style communism. Even Cuba is coming in from the cold as its relationship with the United States thaws after decades of isolation. But North Korea, led by Kim Jong-un, remains as secretive and seemingly trigger-happy as ever, which means visiting the country is next to impossible if you're a journalist. But on the rare occasions the regime does open its doors to Western reporters, it's a trip unlike any other, as Tom Steinfort discovered.
Counting out thousands of euro in a taxi in Beijing, China is a strange way to start a story about North Korea. But before we can even travel to the reclusive state, we need to hand over a lot of money. Cash only, of course.
We have a very strict procedure about who can enter into the country because we are very tired of propaganda media.
24 hours later at Beijing airport, we board an odd-looking Russian-built aircraft for the 90-minute flight to another planet. North Korea's proper name is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or the DPRK. Since the late 1940s, the country's been ruled by 3 generations of the Kim dynasty. Its latest dictator, the baby-faced 32-year-old Kim Jong-un.
I think he's really the perfect person to continue the revolution.
Spaniard Alejandro Caldebenos is one of only a few foreigners the North Korean government trusts, and somehow he's become the official mouthpiece for the regime.
I would say first that he's very hardworking because whenever I had the chance to see him, his eyes are red and he's just thinking all the time.
Well, this is an extremely rare experience inside North Korea. And we've already been warned numerous times that we'll be monitored and critiqued the whole time that we're here. Now, the tour itself, we know that will be highly staged managed, but for once at least, we do get to take a bit of a peek into the world's most secretive state. People move about freely, but they seem reserved, certainly wary of us. Maybe even worried they're being watched.
There's some man just standing behind a tree over there, strangely peering at us every few seconds.
However, the thing that really stands out here is just how many North Koreans are dressed in khaki.
Tell us just how big the North Korean army is.
We could say that the 24 million people in DPRK, they are all a full army. Everybody learns how to shoot a machine gun and to throw a grenade. That's to
everyone.
Everyone. In secondary school, you start your military training. Even the children will help to, for example, steal secrets from the enemy. And they did it already.
So every child at school learns how to shoot a machine gun or throw a grenade?
Yes.
It's very aggressive mindset for children, isn't it?
No, not at all. It's just a practical way to keep the people operative in case of an invasion.
Kim Jong-un might be the current leader, but his dead grandfather and father still wield enormous influence.
In the country, they are our parents, the parents of the nation and the parents of our ideology.
Western history judges Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il harshly, but here they're revered, and it's customary for locals and foreigners alike to lay flowers at their feet. It's an awkward dilemma for me. Insult our hosts or bow to their strange beliefs. As it's early in my visit, I choose an uncomfortable diplomacy.
A US president famously described Kim Jong-il as evil. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's normal from such an ignorant person like George W. Bush to make this kind of insults and talk about a country that he doesn't know at all.
North Korea's enemy is the West. Hated most is the United States. And it's drilled into everyone that their duty is to defend the country at any cost.
How big is the nuclear arsenal?
Of course, it's a secret, but I can say that it's around 15, 20 nuclear missiles, but again, with capability to strike any part of the world, any, including Australia if necessary. If anyone attacks this country, we'll answer with all our power, and if they try to destroy Korea, there will be no world standing.
A global holocaust.
Yeah, exactly.
But a global holocaust means Korea is willing to kill 7 billion innocent people.
No. Don't say Korea is going to defend its right to live. Don't forget, the culprit is the one who attacked innocent people, not us. Why you always trying to point at the DPRK as we are the ones threatening? No, no, this is DPRK. Respect it.
This is a country ever ready for war. Even their subway is really a bomb shelter. And having everyone believe the West is evil is the best way of keeping the outside world out.
What adds to the feeling of being trapped here is the fact that as a foreigner, there's absolutely no way you can use your mobile phone, and access to the internet, well, there's no chance of that. If you want information from the outside world, well, the local press here, or let's be honest, propaganda, is pretty pointless unless you want photos of Kim Jong-un pointing at things and headlines like, why all the fuss about human rights?
People living here cannot access the internet at all from the West to get any information. Why are they cut off?
Because we act as a family. DPRK is a family. It's not an individualistic society. We promote all common values, and we want to prevent things that are bad for society from entering.
For people to only get information from one source, the government, that just adds, though, to the theory that everyone here is brainwashed.
Every human being is always influenced by their families, by their society, by their friends. There are many points where you can get, information. So, brainwash, we could say that we are all, everybody, brainwashed somehow.
While human rights groups complain there aren't any in North Korea, it's difficult for us to really know what these people are thinking, or what might happen to them if they thought it out aloud.
Tell me about the re-education camps. I know you don't like the West calling them concentration camps.
Yes, because they are not. We don't have political prisoners.
Why then has the UN said that Kim Jong-un should be tried at the International Court for human rights abuses and political abuse?
This is because United Nations is under control of the United States and has been since a very long time. So it's a disgrace, frankly speaking. United Nations is a disgrace organization under the hands of the empire. used by the United States to pursue the goals of invading and attacking other countries.
Not surprisingly, the so-called re-education camps weren't included in our itinerary. And neither were these very drab apartment blocks where most normal North Koreans live. Instead, we were taken to a virtually brand new block to meet the very happy and lucky Mr. Pak and his wife, Mrs. Han.
It's a big honour for us to live here, and it's all thanks to our leader, Marshal Kim Jong-un.
Cynically, I fear this couple may have come straight from North Korean central casting. Of course, housing is free in this communist country, but the praise they lavished on Kim Jong-un for providing it was just a bit too much.
And how do you feel about Kim Jong-un?
He is the most beloved leader of our people, and all Koreans love him so much.
There are upsides to life in the north. The country is spotlessly clean. There's no graffiti, no street advertising except for state propaganda, and surprisingly, very few cars. In the capital Pyongyang, they also despise any comparisons we might make to life in South Korea, which is only 150 kilometres away.
Who do you think has a better quality of life now? People living in South Korea or people living in North Korea?
If we have to compare, people in DPRK lives better because majority of people, not majority, all people has a house for free, education for free, and healthcare for free. While in South Korea, it depends on your luck. It depends on your daddy, how rich he is, and your luck that you find a good job.
Most of the rest of the world would laugh at that suggestion.
Because they have no idea about this country. Ask all the beggars in the United States and Spain. They would love to come here. Every day I receive hundreds, and I say hundreds of requests to live and work in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Towards the end of our stay in North Korea, we hit the open and empty road and got out of the city. It was a chance for a glimpse of rural life, which looked primitive and poor, until our minders assured us the farming practices here were as modern as anywhere in the world. Back in Pyongyang, the locals were out celebrating founding dictator Kim Il-sung's birthday. A reminder we all need to hope these are the only explosions we see and hear from this strange country.
What do you foresee happening? Is it going to take a war for an eventual peace? What's the future?
Not at all. Our position is that we are always ready to sign a peace agreement. We don't want war. We want peace, but we'll never beg for it.
Muslim who was once an evangelical Christian. His book about Jesus is a major bestseller and controversial.
When a scholar who just happens to be a Muslim starts writing about Jesus, all of a sudden the knives come out.
Reza Aslan, author of Zealot, The Life and Times of Jesus of Nazareth, is my special guest on Talk to Al Jazeera.
Reza Aslan, thanks for joining us for Talk to Al Jazeera.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Look at what you've done here. And look at the conversation you started with this book, Zealot, The Life and Times of Jesus of Nazareth. And the Jesus that you're talking about, the Jesus that so many of us came to know through the Bible, through church, from pastors, was also the Jesus of your youth.
That's right. Yeah, when I was 15 years old, I heard the gospel story for the first time. It was a transformative experience for me. I didn't really grow up with much religious instruction. I mean, my family was nominally Muslim, you know, culturally Muslim, I guess, as people say, but really once we came to the States from Iran.